The burnt egg roll?
I guess talking about like the current climate of like the media circus politics, like the type that the people that work 9 to 5s, they get off and they just want to watch something and not think about work. So they turn on like Fox News or CNN and listen to people like talk shit about one side or the other. Like it's kind of, I think, interesting like what is going on now, because I guess we're at that age where we're paying more attention to it. And we have a very like eccentric president right now that is trying to get reelected, and I think they're making it, I don't know if they're making it, but it seems like more of a show now to me. Do you have any current thoughts on like what you're seeing right now
in terms of the news coverage? I mean, it's kind of similar to what we were talking about earlier. Like there's some sensationalism, and then, you know, depending on what their political views are, like they're always like spinning it a certain way. Like it's really, sometimes I wish there was like a news website or a news source that like literally just typed out like headlines without adjectives, you know, just told you what happened, like gave you nothing but facts and like numbers, and then, you know, let you make your own judgments from there. But it's like,
it's not interesting, right?
It's not interesting, and then it's almost impossible, because like even if you like make a web page where you're putting like, you know, whatever you're putting on your front page or you're putting up at the top, even that's like emphasizing the importance of it. I guess you could create a news website that literally just like ordered them by like what was the most recent event, and maybe that would be neutral.
But I think sometimes,
I don't know who would go to this who would go to this website.
I think if news was all like facts and the truth, like the common people, they would think differently, right? Like how they do live their day to day and how they think about like life. I think it would change a lot of things.
There would be more agreement if people actually thought something was a fact and true and like took it for that. How could there not be more agreement? You would just be like, oh, okay, that's how it is. But like, you know, like we were saying, there's all that spin, and then like everybody has varying levels of distrust with like the media.
Did you get a chance to watch the Mike Pence and Kamala Harris debate?
I did, yeah.
I tried watching it, but I was like, man, this isn't as entertaining as Trump, man. That's one thing I would miss about Trump, is he makes like,
you're right,
politics
right. The first one was way more entertaining, and like, yeah, they were like talking all over each other and like telling each other to shut up. Biden looked ruffled, like Trump had like seriously gotten under his skin. The next debate was completely dry. I thought the fact that they were sitting down was kind of a weird choice too.
But let me ask you this. Do you think because this is the way that politics is portrayed in the media, that it's kind of misleading to the general public, right? If the people don't like do their own research as far as like the numbers and world issues and stuff, and they only focus on the he say, she say that they portray in the media, and that's their only idea of what politics is, do you feel like it's kind of doing a disservice to the American people, or that's the way the government wants it?
I mean, you're definitely doing a disservice to yourself, right? If you're not independently looking at the facts and what happened. And it's tough too, because like, who has the time? You barely have the time to like read the article. You don't have time to like go open the court case file or whatever, just, you know, look into the data and statistics and stuff like that. And then
I think that's like the few 55% of people that like vote, you know what I'm saying? Or the people that actually like care to do that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. There's people, I guess, that vote off of like the hype, right?
I mean, if I'm really interested, like I will pull up the report, or I'll pull up like the judicial opinion and stuff. But it's like most people don't do that. I don't know if the government exactly wants that. Like in some ways, it works in like politicians' favors if their constituents or whoever like trust them, or if they have a strong base, then they can kind of just get away with saying anything, and what they say like really sways people. But you know, there's probably politicians out there too that wish like, damn, I wish they would just read the report, you know, they would just take a look at this because that could work negatively too. Like maybe they're trying to make a point, but like nobody really believes them because nobody's actually like really looking into it too.
For me, like it's a little bit harder to like trust either side, you know, like Dems or Republicans, because I feel like the way that's portrayed in the media, unless you do your own research and try to figure out the facts for yourself, you're just going off of what these guys are saying. And sometimes, you know, I think they're known to lie, or they'll say something and then you can easily go back and pull it up and be like, yeah, that wasn't true.
And there's also a lot of things like pulling them every which way beyond their own personal beliefs. You know, there's getting reelected, there's lobbyists, you know, there's everything. There's just like, it's loaded statements where they might be saying this for a certain reason or a certain group of people. Or
I feel like a lot of it is scripted sometimes. You know, I feel like there's people that already know what direction they want the country to head in, and then they have these two people go at it for almost a year, you know, and get the people hyped up.
I mean, they have mega staffs, you know, campaign advisors, speech writers, like PR people. Most of the time, there's thought put into it, which raises the question with like Donald Trump's tweets. Do people think he's just like tweeting those thoughts on the fly, like that's him just like on his phone or whatever? Or is that like, are all of those tweets like very carefully orchestrated by someone and they kind of know what kind of reactions they're gonna evoke? You know, people are criticizing him, just be like, oh, an idiot, he needs to get off his phone, and like, or it could just be like, no, he did that for a specific reason. I don't know what to think. I mean, I don't know what the truth is. I mean, what do you think about that?
It's like what Joe Rogan said. We're living in the age of spin, man. At a certain point, man, I feel like the American people are going to be so like numb to everything. And the attention span for everything is getting so low, right? Because the information comes so fast.
Yeah.
So the only people I think that their word is going to last long is the ones that they stay true to themselves and then stay consistent.
This concludes our danse macabre.